Hello there, this is Marcela from Stream of Passion and you're watching Toasted.
In bed with Stream of Passion.
Yes, hello.
Who would have thought? Hey, congratulations! You guys almost have your new album out.
Yes, isn't it great? It's been almost 4 years since our previous album, so it's great to have, yeah.
And what a way to release your album, because of course you guys went through the famous crowdfunding thing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny, because you start. It has some risks, to do things that way, and then you go ahead and do it, and then. You have all these people that are just, throwing money at you and, because they believe in the band. So it's very, very reassuring and very inspiring.
Because how did it come about? I mean, it's not a normal way for you guys to do this, right?
Well, no, we had a few doubts about our previous record label for a little while. We didn't really believe that they understood what we wanted to do. So at some point we started thinking about, maybe we should look for other options. And one of the options that came up was crowdfunding.
And then you had to raise like 25,000 euros, and it was 43,881.
Yes, exactly, 43,881. Yeah, amazing. I mean, it went so fast. You have, I think, 90 days or 60 days to put everything together, and in the first 11 days we had already reached our initial goal. So, yeah. Really.
Hey, and how does that work? Because I mean, you see, you need the money to do what? Because you already did record the album, or you needed the money to go into the studio, or
everything really. I mean, we hadn't written the songs. We had a pre-production where we still had to go into the studio. There's of course a lot of money that goes into that, and mixing, mastering, then actually making the album, because now we do it independently, promoting it, you name it, shipping the packages. There's a lot of stuff involved.
Wow. Hey, it took you, like you said, almost 4 years to record this album. Did you write all that time? Did you write 4 years? Or was it a lot of turbulence, and after all the chaos died out, you started to write again?
It was a little bit half. Well, it's been 4 years, but the first year, I think, we were mostly touring and still playing for our previous album, Darker Days. And then we started getting our vibe going on again. And then we went through this period of uncertainty, of course, because we pitched some of the songs to our label, and we thought, like, it's not going to work. And then the whole process of coming up with the campaign and doing all the research and seeing what works and what not, and putting everything together, that took also quite a while.
Hey, the album, what I read in the bio, and I'm not sure if this is true, is like the title of the album is A War of Our Own. Was there a lot of war for you guys?
It felt like it. I mean, and the title is, A War of Our Own. It's also inspired on all that kind of thing, those kinds of things. It's not really a world war, but also our little battles. Our personal battles, our battle as a band. To make it, make this new start. The struggle of people in Mexico, my native country. With this whole drug war thing, that was also a very big source of inspiration. So it's all different types of struggles of battles. So we thought the title encapsulated all those things very well.
Eventually you hold out. You always did, because you started off 2005, am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there were lots of band changes.
Lots of happenings, but the lineup that we have right now, we've been working together with for I don't know, I think since 2008. So we've been together already for a little while, and it's good.
You came over not especially for Stream of Passion, right? From Mexico. You were invited by Anthony to come over to play with him, and then you decided to stay.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my first, getting in touch with Holland was through that Arion album, and then some years went by, and then we had the band, and then I got in a relationship, and then.
Yeah, but you talk lightheartedly about it, like it's really not a big deal. But I mean, you left Monterrey for Tilburg.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big deal, and if I look back, I have to be honest with myself and think of those days. You know, Darker Days, our previous album, was really inspired on that. This whole change, that was it was a very big process, yeah. And getting used to the weather. Well, I can't complain right now because it's very lovely, and the winters, you know, which I didn't really know about. Yeah.
A song that that you released first probably is "The Curse." One of the lyrics you have in there is that the choice was made for me.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, yes. Well, this song in particularly is inspired on how it feels to be afflicted by an artistic soul. So most of us musicians or artists, when you experience this creating and sharing your creation with someone else, it's not something that you can just stop doing. And it might be that this path, it demands of you stuff that you never thought that you would have to give up. So in a way, it's a gift and a curse, but it's not a choice for me or for us to make. It's something that we have to do.
And also a message that I found is that it's worth to go that path and stick to it.
Sure. It's the feeling of that you have when you share your music with the audience and you see them respond and that connection that we make with them, with our fans, it's invaluable.
Well, you have shitloads of fans, because I mean, that's proven right there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's very heartwarming and very reassuring. Yeah.
You guys will play live soon, right? I mean, there's a tour coming up. You're playing Europe right now, right? But I saw messages on Facebook. Come over to the States and.
Yeah, we know that we have quite a few fans in the States, and especially in Latin America. They really want to see us. So we're looking into the possibility of going back because it's it's good. I know.
Will you tour there? What do you reckon?
Sorry?
Will you tour there? What do you reckon?
I hope so. We have no definite plans as of now, but we're looking forward to. Yeah.
Finishing the album, was it a relief to finish it?
No. You know, it was a great feeling to have it done, and it was very inspirational. You know, after all that we had been through. But it didn't really feel as a burden to have to finish it, or it felt more like a victory. Yeah.
So it must have been a struggle, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's been, you know, if I have to think back of 2 years ago and being in that place, we were thinking like, damn, where are we gonna go from here? You know, these people from the label don't think that they really believe in it. Oh, then you go searching for options, and that inspires some insecurity. You know, even if you try to best to not take it personal. Well, I can't, so I always do. And if I think of now, you know, the album's out, we're extremely happy with how it came out, and the reactions that we had so far from press and from the fans are amazing. So, yeah.
Did you ever think that you would stop stop this band, cut it, and go back to Monterey, or I don't know?
No. Well, I suppose the thought crossed my mind, but it was so not. In my mind, it's never really been an option to. Well, I suppose I would end up doing some kind of other musical thing, but I didn't really pay all that much attention to the thought. No.
Hey, Daniel Cardoso is on your album. You guys do a lot of co-ops with musicians, right? In general.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Funny enough, we have. Yeah, we do. And it was great to be able to have that song from Daniel on the album, because it worked really great with the rest. And
how did the co-op come together? How did you?
Well, it's a very non-charming business-ish story. We have the same publisher, and he got us together, and then he had the song that we thought might work for us. So that's how we.
And it did work.
Yeah, it did work. Yeah. Hey,
other things that I saw on Facebook is you posing with a gun for the shoot of the new video.
Yeah, and it caused this whole riot actually, because there's of course a lot of people in Mexico that are very sensitive to the subject, and I'm not doing any shooting in the video, and I think I would have never dared to hold a gun if it was actually a real gun, but they were plastic guns. But I'm not doing any of the shooting in the video. We have this amazing cast, and we have this whole story around the song. I would just be there and sing.
When is the video done?
Today.
No way.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly if we're gonna release it today. With planning, it's always exciting. But this week it should definitely be out.
The only thing I saw was this beautiful industrial hall somewhere in Belgium, where apparently the whole thing was shot. Or
Yeah.
what is it about?
Well, it's also about that whole situation in Mexico, and because the song is inspired on that as well, and the fear that people have nowadays, to go out because you hear all these gunshots going on in the middle of the day. So that causes some insecurity in people. So that's the main inspiration of the song, and the story in the video is also related to that.
Mexico is still very much a part of you, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel this responsibility of saying something about it, on my lyrics, and hoping that, I don't know, maybe inspires a little bit of change.
You're saying the people in Mexico should actively look at how to improve society themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
What went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of blaming the government, because it's all the same people. I mean, we're all people, and the moment that we start seeing that, and each of us try to do something to inspire change, and give the proper importance to family values and education, and the distribution of wealth, which in Mexico is ridiculous. There is so much difference. Then we may start seeing some changes. Yeah.
Is it still really bad, the whole drug shooting and gang violence, or?
Yeah, well, the thing is, this is my theory, because I'm not there anymore, of course, and there's not a lot of that comes across in the media. So it's always a question whether it's all true or not. But I got the impression that because of the good old political party PRI that used to rule the country for years and years and years, they're back on power, and I think it's gonna go a little bit more back to the just hiding the corruption and letting the gangs and the cartels do their thing without trying to uncover everything. Of course, this whole situation has started up this territorial war, but I hope that even though it's still there, that it's at least it doesn't affect the innocent people as much as it has done the last few years.
Back to your music. Album out, video done today. What holds the near future for you guys?
Yeah, shows. We're really looking forward to playing the songs live, and we have a few shows planned for that. In Holland, and on April 18, we're playing in Bibelo in Dordrecht. That's our CD release party. It's just 1.5 weeks away. And then we have the show on May 1st at the Melkweg in Amsterdam, and May 2nd at the FNR in Eindhoven. So all really great venues, and really looking forward to that.
And I saw a lot of gigs in Germany as well.
Yeah, then we're going to go in to Germany with Alexandria, good friends of ours, and we're gonna have some show there, and we have some festivals coming up in the Czech Republic, and Roermond Bevrijdingsfestival we're playing, so that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I read a small line from a guy who wrote about your new album from Classic Rock Mag. With a voice like this, you can sell a fridge to an Eskimo. That's what he said about the new album.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge compliment. Yeah.
Do you think it's amazing? I mean,
yeah. It's it was funny because I remember this. We got it sent over from our manager, and it was in German, and my German is not that great. So I was reading it like, something with horny Eskimos or what? I don't get it. And then they translated, and it's great. I mean, it's really. It's just so nice to have these great reactions to the music and everything. It's really happy.
Can you imagine that people see Stream of Passion being your band, like it's your thing?
Well, yeah, it's yeah, the lead vocalist also, yeah, always gets a little bit more attention than the rest, of course. But yeah, we're a band, and everyone is integral part of what we do. You know, we work very well as a team, and everyone has his own, you know, tasks in the band. And now we have a lot of more work to do because we're independent, and you have to have that.
Does it feel good to be independent?
Yeah, yeah. You know, well, it's a lot of work, but we're also able to do make a lot of decisions. Well, all of the decisions, and we get to do a lot of stuff that we didn't get the chance to do before, and that feels good. You know, now we take some risks, but we made the decision to take them, so it's nice. We're really looking forward to what the future will bring.
Did you get a lot of reactions from the music industry when they noticed that you raised like 44,000 euros in 2 months' time?
Yeah, definitely. We had this, you know, we didn't really have like any press release or anything around it at the time, but it just started popping up everywhere. You know, you know, it's becoming more common, but in this genre, I think also hadn't been done a lot before. We had a really great campaign, I think, in the whole spectrum of Indiegogo music campaigns. We came out number 12 back then of the most funded campaigns that they have. So, yeah, yeah, great.
Will you stick to this, or if a major record company approaches you guys and offers you a big deal, would you still go for it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's we never say never to anything, but this worked really well, and it feels nice to don't have to, you know, respond to anyone but the fans. So yeah, we'll see.
Talking about that, do you react to your fans when they write you on Twitter or Facebook? Is it you, or do you have an intern who?
No, we can't afford an intern. No, it's really me. I try to answer to everything and everything that I get. It takes me a while, but I do. Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much. Looking forward to see you guys live. Especially, how will you reproduce this live? Because it's a big sound.
Oh, I will manage. It'll be okay.
You've been there.
We've been there. Now we will. We always, when we go and stand on stage, we always give everything we have, and it's. I think one of the things that I really like about playing with these guys, and if we go on stage and it's gonna be wham, you know, all your energy is going to be left there, and I think that's also for the audience something nice to see.
A nice picture that I found on the web is you crowd surfing, and I think the text behind it was like, "This is the way I prefer to end my working week."
Yes, exactly. We've had a lot of work, so rounding up the week, that was one of my feeling, you know, that moment of joy, letting yourself fall in the hands of the crowd.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.